Suggest that we broaden the subject,
Yeah.
And discuss something that's on everybody's mind day in and day out, and that's the Cold War. Are we fighting it effectively? Are we spending too much money on it? Are we fighting it in a hard or a soft way? What are your thoughts about it, sir?
Well, I feel we've made very definite headway with respect to the Cold War, that the indecision and lack of purpose has been replaced by careful planning, which is characteristic of General Eisenhower's operations. We've had success. We have seen truce in Korea. We have seen at least a stoppage of the bloodshed. What may come out of it yet, we aren't sure, but certainly that's a plus for us. We've seen the food riots in East Berlin. We've seen the picture of a young man trying to fight a Russian tank with his bare hands, with a rock. It's something a year ago you never believed you would have seen. We have seen a great victory in Germany. That's a diplomatic victory for the United States as well as for Eisenhower. That's a victory in the Cold War. And we have seen here the Congress cooperating with the President in such matters as voting to send surplus foods to Europe, legislation which will admit into this country over the next couple of years something over 200,000 refugees from behind the Iron Curtain. That was a Cold War bullet we were shooting there, and a very effective one in the opinion of the managers of the Cold War. So that I say, Mr. Morgan, I think we have made just in this year very marked and noticeable progress in connection with the Cold War. Included in that, too, should be our efforts to get at this subversion business within our own government.
Which brings us down quickly to a final question, Senator Bush, and that is, what do you think is the decisive issue or issues in the '54 congressional elections? Very quickly.
Well, of course, you ought to give me more than 1 minute for that.
I'm sorry.
I would say that the decisive issue is going to be the record of the Eisenhower administration for the first 2 years, or you might say right up to now, next year. That's going to be the record. The Eisenhower administration and the Republican Congress has not had time this year to complete its program, to do full justice to the planks in our own platform.
You feel it will stand on its own merit?
I feel that it will stand and stand successfully when that time comes.
Thank you very much, Senator Bush.
There was another interesting meeting in Madison Square Garden back in February of 1939 by the Bund, or the American Nazi Party. At the very same venue where Bush and Schwarzenegger gave their speeches in 2004, the American Nazi Party promoted the vision of Adolf Hitler. In fact, the Nazi Party in America was very, very popular. The people hadn't yet seen the danger, because while the American people slept, Nazi agents like Prescott Bush were working overtime for the right. And Arnold's father, Gustav Schwarzenegger, was busy too, volunteering for the Nazi Party in Austria when it was illegal and becoming an SS officer. And Karl Rove, reportedly his grandfather, again, was a Gauleiter, or a governor, over an entire German state.
Mr. Fritz Kuhn. You all have heard of me through the Jewish-controlled press as a creature with horns, a cloven hoof, and a long tail. If you ask what we are actively fighting for under our charter, I will here repeat the declaration I made public some time ago. First, a social, just, white, Gentile, ruled United States. Second,
all the American Nazis talked about was how much they loved America, how pro-USA they were. And a lot of the public bought it. And the fathers and grandfathers of the men who run our country today were in full support of the Bund. It's now the 21st century, and things have gotten a lot slicker. The question is, will the public buy it?